Today, we're going to tackle one of the biggest challenges that companies have when it comes to growth, which is, of course, speed to lead. And I'm going to tell you why it's so important, as well as give you some solutions or possible pathways that you can go and explore. Let's get going.
The Mammoth Plumber podcast with Tyler Williams on the mic. He's dropping marketing gold, making your business spike.
Okay, so speed to lead. For those of you who don't know, the probability of you getting a job dramatically increases the faster that you respond to messages that people don't pick up just naturally. Like if somebody calls and leaves a message, 5 minutes is a lot different than 2 minutes. 10 minutes is way different, and hours later usually means, all right, that person just isn't going to have the trust factor that somebody would if you got back to them faster. So what it does is it helps increase the amount of revenue you bring in because you're just speedier at response. People like a responsive business. So now let's talk about why this kind of pinged me. So I was in a Facebook group, and one of the posts was about, hey, when somebody leaves a message on local service ads, which are the Google guaranteed ads, they're immediately told, would you like to send this message to other providers as well? So what does this mean for plumbers? If you enable yourself for messaging, and I think you should, provided you can actually supply speed to lead, then as soon as somebody sends a message, they're able to say, well, I'm going to ask these 5 other people. You will still be the first to get the lead, but you better be the first to respond. Because if you aren't, somebody else is picking up that customer and they get them for the next 5 to 10 years instead of you. So now, the speed to lead problem is especially noticeable under smaller shops because you guys are busy, right? If you have a few techs and no CSRs, you all could be on a job, maybe different jobs, and the phone doesn't get picked up, and then the customer just hops to the next person. Now, when it comes to marketing, this is a big problem for us because we will drive the lead to a dead zone. And when that happens, you spent the money regardless on both the services of the marketing agency and the platform that we're spending money on. And so it hurts a lot worse when we're doing marketing and you can't fulfill the answering the call. So that's one of the reasons why this is so important to me. Let's talk about solutions though, because that's where things get really interesting. When it comes to solutions to speed to lead, of course, one is drop everything, answer the phone, right? The problem is not all of you want to work 24 hours a day, and we find that a lot of calls come in after hours, even if they aren't emergency calls, because that's when people get home, and that's when they decide, man, I really should call a plumber to fix this drain, or to work on this faucet, like small repair jobs, or it seems like my water isn't getting hot, and it's 9 o'clock, I'm taking a shower, or it's first thing in the morning and I'm taking a shower, your office isn't open yet. And they want to check it off the box and say, I have called the plumber. I have called them. They're going to get back to me at the very least. But sometimes they're just going to go, I've called the plumber and the other plumber and the other plumber and the other plumber. Which one's going to get back to me first? So if somebody's in exploration mode, which they are regarding PPC, by the way, which is an expensive platform to advertise on, and if you can't secure that lead, you got some big cost factors involved. So how do you, what are you gonna do? So yeah, answer the phone, that's one. Another one, real simple, is missed call, text back. Almost all solutions are gonna require some form of investment. This is one of the cheapest ones to do. So you can set up automations, and one of the most popular ones is missed call, text back. So, all right, hey, sorry we missed your call. Our office is currently closed, or we're on a job. Please, if you want, you could text us your problem and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Just know that we've got you as soon as we're available. Just reassuring somebody that message received, we got your back, that's a huge deal alone. Suddenly, a bunch of those people will be taken out of exploration mode, trying to find the plumber that will actually solve the problem for them. It's not perfect, but it works. And you can actually set up automations to do this with emails, forms on your website, chat widgets, as well as even like LSA or GMB messages, Facebook messages, things like that. So it's a pretty low usually low cost, easy step to get going. Now, like we do that for our clients, but there's definitely some areas that it gets tricky. Like we can't do TikTok messages at the moment. Oh well, like we'll take what we can get. So now, what's going to be more costly, but is definitely probably better, is hiring a CSR for the times that you're actually open is a huge one. Because a lot of times people understand like, okay, cool, business hours, it's after, I get it, I'll leave a message, we'll get back to them. But there's two problems. You get busy as soon as you walk in the door, or as soon as your day starts, and you aren't able to follow up on those messages. And it's not just answering machines, by the way. It's Facebook, it's your form fills, it's your chat widgets, all these points of communication that you really want to aggregate and be able to answer in one place, or at least in one chunk of time to try and get those on the books. Some people find that extremely hard because they're already scheduled out through the day. So when are you going to get to it? This is a classic business owner problem. This isn't just a plumber problem. And so hiring a CSR or a customer service representative in order to follow up on those immediately. You set them up with a process of like, hey, every day when you come in, these are the first things you're going to do, and this is how your day starts, and these are the things that you're going to do at the end of the day to follow up on anything that came in throughout the day. And that alone, what that does is it takes it out of your mental space and allows you to delegate, which is hard for some of you, I know, but it's important that you delegate because your business will always be stuck on your time. So if you do that, the CSR, the other benefit of them is they can run customer support. They can help you organize your own emails so you don't have to deal with all the spam and other points of contact, vendors and things like that. They can help organize your life a little bit. They can work on the dispatching, especially if you got multiple people. A lot of people will hire a second tech or third tech before they hire a CSR. I think you need to really consider whether or not that's worth it, because while it increases your capacity, it decreases your ability to take care of the customer and secure the job. And so a lot of people end up in this weird balancing act where they're like, well, I want to be able to do more jobs, but you don't actually have the communication capacity to be able to do them well, or train the new person is the other thing, right? So you've got all those things. So CSR absolutely, obviously is going to be a good one, and one you all have to make eventually. Like if you don't have one, yeah, that's in the books. But what if you still have the after hours things, and one of the weirdest, most newest solutions for this is going to be an AI agent. And these things are getting better and better every month. And we're experimenting with them too, but they're kind of in their infancy for our system. So, but what this is basically a robot that answers your phones, does your scheduling, books your call, or at least talks to the person, forwards them to the right person, things like that. It's way more reassuring than just a simple text message back, because it can be like, hi, I'm Maribel from Mammoth Marketing. I would like to talk to, I can answer your questions. Tell me, what is it you've got going on, right? They can at least take that information in and then send it to the appropriate person. And it's way more interactive than just nothing, than dead air, than just, hey, please leave a message. It's technically the same thing, but this can go deeper, and this can actually pull some levers for you depending on the system that you end up building. So, and people like the conversational aspect of it. However, whatever system you find on that end, you need to be careful because they can go rogue, and that tells you where the training holes are in on that, and you have to narrow them in. So you've got that. What's cool about that is also it's 24/7. Doesn't matter what time, right? So you can have them available all the time. But what if you have a CSR and you still want to do the dispatching and everything, and you don't trust the AI agents quite yet, or they're more expensive than you want to do, or whatever? That's when I would recommend a call answering service, right? And honestly, for a lot of you, this should be maybe your first move. So with the call answering service, there's a lot of them out there for plumbers. One that has been recommended to me that I keep meaning to go call and talk to them about it is Plumline. They're out there. I know my brother's company used them for years. He's pretty happy with them. Now, a lot of people will say I tried the call answering service, but they just didn't answer the phone right. honestly, most of the time I find that's due to the training that you put in. The work you put in is going to end up measuring your outputs the way that you want. So keep that in mind. It's not going to be perfect. Nothing is perfect upon launch. You're gonna have to massage the system. And this is true of any vendor, including marketing agencies. Like, it takes time for you to develop like a rapport, and the relationship is built and the priorities are aligned. Like, everyone tries to do it as fast as they can, but no matter what, there are some things that are just not black and white, and it requires some communication back and forth. And so if you're struggling with the call answering service, I highly recommend that you go ahead and give that some thought and see what you can offer them to help set them up for success. Because as soon as you put that work in and you reach that tipping point, those things end up saving you tons of time and effort. And it's the same thing with employees, to be honest. So, you've got that call answering service, and they can do a good job at actually answering customers, a little bit more discussion based than something like an AI agent that may not even have the data and can't infer the data the same way that you want somebody answering your phone to do. So that's another spot where you can layer that into your business. But the big thing is, I want you all to answer your phone, because the speed to lead is so stinking important. And if you can have somebody answering the phone, checking on the messages, making sure that they are notified and things are being handled immediately, you will find that your business will grow much faster. You will find that everything is more of a well-oiled machine. When you don't have that, what we see on our end is we're driving customers to your business only to end up hanging up as soon as they hear an answering machine. And so at that point, they go and they hop to the next person, and you've lost the customer. You had them. They're right there. They're at your door. You likely paid money to get them there somewhere along the way, whether it was PPC, Facebook ads, or LSA, or organic SEO stuff. You're paying money to have it all done. It takes energy. So you've really got to be poised to get those people in as soon as possible. So those are my concepts on speed to lead. Hope this was informative for you. If you have any questions about marketing, by all means, throw them into the comments. I'll answer them as best I can. They might even be another video that I spit out. The other thing is, if you would like somebody on my crew to talk to you about your marketing, kind of diagnose where you need to put in the next leg of stuff, go to tylerwilliams.net and schedule an appointment. You can do a free consult. We give them away to plumbers. If you're not a plumber, we might take it. We might have to, depending on what the pipeline looks like, we might say like, hey man, we got to schedule way out. But we'd be happy to do that. And we save like a tiny little portion of that for like, okay, if we took you on as a client, here's the things we could handle, but you get the priorities either way. So you have a good one, and thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the next one.
Want to grow your business? Here's the plan. Go to tylerwilliams.net and be the talk of the land. Now let me tell you the epic tale of how Tyler Williams became the marketing man. His story begins when he was just a year-old lad. His mother needed a plumber, but their ads were so bad. The house flooded and sank, and young Tyler was mad. Swallowed by the earth, into the abyss they fell. He blamed the bad marketing that led them to this hell. At 1 year old, he vowed to the stars above he'd harness marketing power and give plumbers some love. He's Tyler Williams, the marketing baby. From tragedy he rose to bring plumbers joy. With a vow to the stars and a plan in his hand, he's the one who saved them, the marketing baby. Later, he set out on a quest to find ancient secrets that would make him the best. He tamed Mark the Mammoth and rode the wilderness vast, fighting bland campaigns, leaving them in the past. In a glowing cave with lights so bright, he found a dead wizard clutching tablets of might. For 30 long years, he studied those stones, deciphering marketing secrets that shook him to his bones. He's Tyler Williams, the marketing boy, imbued with power, turning pain into joy. With fire in his eyes and stone-carved campaigns, he brings plumbers the truth to ease their pains. 30 years later, he emerged from the cave, riding Mark the Mammoth, a legend so brave. Back to Alaska with tablets in tow. He chiseled new ads ready to make them glow. His campaigns were epic, like Discover and Fire. Plumbers would soar, lifted ever higher. He hit the launch button, the world wasn't prepared. Neighborhoods flooded with jokes as Tyler declared. After 40 long years of learning marketing power, the baby became a boy, the boy became a man. And now Tyler Williams finally became the fabled marketing man. The world with boldness and might, crafting campaigns that set everything right. He's bald, bearded, with glasses in place, laughs at his jokes, but they're never out of place. With a smile and a wink, he launches the show. His ads are dumb, but they make plumbers grow. He's the marketing man with campaigns so grand, bringing plumbers out of the Stone Age as he planned. So when you see Tyler, remember his quest. He's the marketing man who's simply the best, bold and bold with a mission so grand. He's Tyler Williams, the marketing man.